Hi everybody. In this session we're going to talk about theories of giftedness and multiple intelligences. I want to start with multiple intelligences. There's a gentleman by the name of Howard Gardner, and that's a name you should know, Howard Gardner. He's from Harvard, and he identified a number of different distinct intelligences, is what they're being called. This theory comes from brain research, cognitive research, and it's saying that to the extent to which students have different kinds of minds, they learn, remember, perform, and understand in different ways. So he's saying that your mind helps you learn in different ways. Your mind helps you in sharing what you've learned, but the minds are different. So to the extent at which they're different, we should identify that to understand how to best teach someone and how that person has the easiest way showing what they've learned. So in school, most of the time, everyone is taught the exact same way, and everyone receives the same test. You might have one test form that's scrambled compared to another test form, but you're tested in the same way, basically. What he's saying is there are different ways. For example, visual, spatial. People think in terms of physical space. They're very aware of their environments. They like to draw, do jigsaw puzzles, read maps, daydreams. They may be taught through drawings, verbal and physical imagery, using models, graphics, charts, and things, video conferencing, TV, text with pictures, charts, and graphs are ways to help the visual spatial learner to learn it's their strength. And their way of demonstrating that they've learned would be in that mode as well. There's bodily kinesthetic. They use the body effectively, like a dancer or a surgeon. They're very aware. They have a very keen sense of body awareness. They like movement, making things. They communicate through body language, and they can be taught through physical activity, hands-on learning, acting out, role-playing. And so that would be something to consider in teaching the bodily kinesthetic individual. There's musical rhythmic, and they show sensitivity to rhythm and sound. They love music, but they're very sensitive to sounds in their environment, so they may study better with music in the background. They can be taught by turning lessons into lyrics, speaking rhythmically, tapping out time. Tools might be musical instruments, music, radio, stereo, CD, multimedia. Then there's interpersonal, and they're understanding, interacting with others with a strength. These students learn best through interaction. They may have many friends, a lot of empathy for others, and some street smarts. And they can be taught with group activities, seminars, dialogues, and tools for them, conferencing again, time and attention from the teacher, video conferencing, writing, computer conferencing, the telephone, very interpersonal. Now, inter sounds like it's within yourself, but interpersonal is with others. Intrapersonal is the next one. And those individuals really understand their own interests and goals. They tend to shy away from other people. They're more the hermit, quiet type. They are in tune with their inner feelings. They have wisdom, intuition, and motivation, as well as a strong will, confidence, and opinions. They can be taught through independent study, through introspection. Their tools would be books, creative materials, diaries, privacy, and time. They're the most independent. For them, it may be, what do I need to learn? Okay, just give me some time and let me go research that, read about that, and I'll learn it on my own. Intrapersonal. Then linguistic, using words effectively. They're very highly developed with auditory skills, and they often think in words. They like reading, playing word games, making up poetry or stories. They can be taught by encouraging them to say and see words and read books together. Their tools would be computers, games, multimedia, books, tapes, recorders, lecture. Then there's logical mathematical, reasoning, calculating, thinking conceptually, abstractly able to see and explore patterns and relationships. They like to experiment, solve puzzles, ask cosmic questions. They can be taught through logic games, investigations, mysteries. They need to learn from concepts before they can deal with details. There are others that he has identified from the point in time when he started with 7 and then 9 and then 11. One that you might hear often is naturalistic, very in tune with nature, concerned about animals and the environment and such. But these are some of the major ones that we're looking at. And this is from Howard Gardner with a theory of multiple intelligence. And now we're going to look at the theory of giftedness itself. There's a question of what giftedness is. What makes giftedness? And to that, there's been a lot of research. Dr. Joseph Renzulli and Dr. Sally Reese are individuals that I want to make note of for us who are key figures in the research regarding giftedness. So Dr. Joseph Renzulli studied and found that gifted behavior, in his opinion, based on his research, gifted behavior occurs when there's an interaction among three basic clusters of human traits. So you have above average, general, or specific abilities. So an above average, general, or specific ability. A high level of task commitment, high level of motivation, okay? And high levels of creativity. Those three things. The above average, general ability or specific ability, a high level of task commitment and motivation, and high level of creativity. When you have all those three together, then he sees that, or would label that as what we're talking about. That is what we see with giftedness. Gifted and talented children are those who possess or are capable of developing, so having the potential of developing those traits, the composite, the grouping or joining of those things together and applying them to any potentially valuable area of human performance. Now that's something too, to apply them to a valuable area of human performance. So as noted in what is called the school-wide enrichment model, gifted behaviors can be found in certain people, not all people, not everyone is gifted. They can be found in certain people at certain times. There are times when you might not see it, times when you do see it emerging. So in certain people, at certain times, and under certain circumstances. So not in every situation do you see it. You don't see someone as being gifted in everything. You ask them anything and they just know it all. That's not what we're talking about, and that's a myth. You're not expected to know everything. And there are times when you're seeing it stronger than other times in certain circumstances and situations. So we try to provide the optimal circumstance, the best circumstance in a consistent way, and opportunities for that to develop, to grow, and to emerge. And that theory of giftedness and what giftedness is from Dr. Renzulli and Dr. Sally Reese. So they came together and put together this model with some research. They then went ahead and developed the Renzulli learning system. And that's what's behind what we currently use with GoQuest, where it's giving opportunities for creativity, for critical thinking, and doing a profile which helps students understand the way that they learn, the way that they best show that they've learned. And that's Dr. Joseph Renzulli, Dr. Sally Reese, and Howard Gardner.